Hello, diamond painting friends. This is Antiquated Misfit here, and if I'm a little bit more quiet today, it's because it's like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I am filming this. Today I'm doing a whip and chat on Not Your Alice. I'm really only work on this very early in the morning. This is my living room diamond painting, so it's a small one, and it is a round. I'm not too fond of rounds, but lately I've been loving them for some reason. I don't know, maybe it's just working on the older rounds. This is, I believe, an older kit from Diamond Art Club, but last time I checked it was still in stock. It is not archived. So it is still available for you to get if that is your preference. Personally, I love this image. It's a different take on Alice in Wonderland, and I love the story. So anyway, just talk a little bit about what's been going on this week, and we may have a little bit shaking coming up because I usually have a cat join me up here. They like to get a little bit of love before I go to work, I guess. But anyway, let's see. Nothing much really happened this week. My mother had a procedure yesterday that I sat in the hospital for about 3 hours waiting for her. It was outpatient. It wasn't anything major. So that was fun. And I diamond painted a little bit when I got home. I finished another 2 sections of my Randall Spangler that I'm working on, which I got to figure out how to join the Randall Spangler draw along. Let's see. Other than that, nothing much really happened. Very boring person. See, I watched the 2 Five Nights at Freddy's movies. My boyfriend found in a double feature. I really loved the consistency of it, and they're not great movies, but they're fun to watch. It really was fun to watch. And I don't say that about a lot of movies, especially movies that are supposed to be like horrifying. But yeah, my son told me a little bit about the lore of, well, he didn't tell me, he told my boyfriend a little bit about the lore of the Five Nights at Freddy's video games, because he did used to play them when he was a teenager. I don't think he's really played them too much anymore. And then I relax by playing My Time at Portia on Steam before I go to bed, and sometimes I just don't want to go to bed after I'm done playing that game. I just want to keep playing and playing and playing. There are very few video games that are very addicting, and you'll see a few of them on my channel eventually, because I keep saying I want to get my son to help me with it. Every time I think about it, it never happens. One of us forgets, or he's too tired, I'm too tired. You know, he works multiple different times. My time is like within the same range. Like, he goes into work 2 times at 4 o'clock in the morning for 2 days in a row, and then mine is always somewhere around 4 o'clock in the morning, which means I'm up at 12:30 to 1. Today it was closer to 1. I went and did my stuff that I had to do early in the morning, got my coffee ready, and yeah, so that's where I am today. My coffee's here with me too. I just didn't put it up on the table, and I'm afraid I'm gonna knock it with my elbow, so let me grab that. And I guess people think I'm weird because I don't drink my coffee all at once. I don't drink it while it's piping hot. I'll let it sit here for like the next hour or so while I talk to you and diamond paint. Usually this is my time to catch up on videos that I've been missing out on. I have them all on a watch later list, and it's so long. But I see some creators that don't drop content on a regular basis for me, that have been dropping content that, you know, just dropped a couple of pieces of content. One of them's Karen Puzzles. which I know she works from home, and she does, hers are, her videos when she does the puzzles are more the unusual type of puzzles. I can't wait to get down to that one. I know I could skip all the videos, but a lot of them are diamond painting videos. Oh, I missed that symbol. Shoot. Well, whatever. I always miss a symbol when I try to get them all. I was doing this before I had to take my mom to the hospital yesterday, so we were both like a nervous wreck. And I filled out to try and be an affiliate for Diamond Art Club the other day. I'm hoping to hear back from them. I fully expect to be turned down, at least the first time around. I want to gain some more followers again before I try then. Because I still don't understand what the formula is. I still don't know how to edit my videos. I still don't know how to make a thumbnail. I'm still trying to watch videos on how to do it, and every time I do, I run into the price wall, and right now I can't afford anything. Like, I can't afford a subscription to edit a video or a subscription to make a template. And I tried doing it with the YouTube editor, but YouTube editor doesn't allow you to do anything. It just allows you to post the videos from what I can see. I haven't been able to actually make any changes to my videos other than maybe adding in a GIF here and there. And I don't want to do that. I want to make this as professional as possible, learn how to actually edit and make it look really decent, if not good. And I want to make thumbnails that make sense to people. You know, if I'm doing an unboxing, I want to have, you know, a thumbnail for an unboxing and a template for an unboxing when I unbox. I want to have a template for WIP and chats. I want to have a template for my year in review, my month in review. I just want to be able to do it all. I thought it was going to be so easy. Just record a video, choose my template that I want to use, and, you know, be on my way, and I'd be able to edit it through whatever media I'm using to record, my phone, video camera, whatever. Nope, that is not the way it goes. So everything you're going to see from me is going to be unedited, in full review, and in the complete chaos that it actually appears to me in. So, anybody been reading anything new lately, watching anything new lately, seen any good movies, new or old? I want to hear about it. I've been thinking about going back to, I have the I Love Lucy entire series on DVD, and I was planning on going back to that. And I think I've only watched the full first season, but I've seen like almost every episode on nighttime TV. Lifetime used to play them every night, and I'd watch an hour of I Love Lucy, and then an hour of the Lucy Desi Comedy Hour, an hour of the Lucy Show. Yeah, yes, I did like Lucille Ball. She was an amazingly funny and talented woman, and she did a little bit of everything. Her and her husband owned that studio. And whereas they may not have stayed married, they stayed business partners, which I really respect. And, you know, for that time frame that she was running the studio and running this, that, and the other thing, it wasn't a common time for women to be doing stuff like that. So it makes it all the better that she was able to. Or not, maybe not, impressive would be the word. Impressive would definitely be the word that I'm looking for. And I just really like the time frame that, you know, I Love Lucy was filmed in. It's such a simpler time. I mean, you go up to New York now, it's nothing like that. I don't think it was anything like that when it was filmed in the first place, but I mean, you go to New York and the streets are bustling, there's shops everywhere, you know, it's a busy city now. Well, I think it always was. It's a city that never sleeps. There's always something open. It's been years since I've been there. Too far away. I make a trip up north once a year, and that's to one of the biggest malls in the country. And I'm in the US. I think it's like the second largest mall in the country, and that's a drive. And my son usually takes me. And we have fun. So we did the escape room 2 years in a row. This year we're not going. We're doing something else for my birthday. We're going to the beach instead for a few days. So I've got to take some vacation in the summer times. My birthday's like right after the beginning of summer. And I'm so excited. I can't wait. And I know it's only like a little bit over 3 months away. Well, almost 4 months away because we're still in the beginning of March. And I don't really have any other plans for travel this year. I mean, I'll get my vacation back in September as my hire date for my job. But I'll have like personal days that I can take, which I might just wait for the winter to take, because after January it's kind of slow. And they do a lot of sending people home because they don't need as much staff. And you know, it's better to get paid for so many hours rather than getting the little hours. At least to me. However, I do travel an hour to get there and an hour to get home, so my schedule's kind of tight. I leave an hour and a half before I have to be there just so I can set up. It depends on what I'm doing during the day. Sometimes I have to set up, sometimes I don't. I said, it depends on what I'm doing, because I'm not always on a computer where I need to set up what I'm doing. Sometimes they have me do other stuff. Well, oftentimes they have me do other stuff, which is fine, because, you know, a job's a job. And I love what I do regardless. I just have trouble doing some of the aspects of the job, but that never stopped them putting me there. I guess in hopes that I'll learn, but colors have never been my strong suit. I'm lucky I know what the primary colors are. Which brings me to a conversation my boyfriend and I had. We were talking about a procedure I have. I can't have red or purple stuff before I go in. So, like, red Jello, purple Jello, red soda, I'm not allowed to have. And he's like, those are primary colors. I'm like, no, purple is not a primary color. And he goes, oh yeah, you're right. No. We went through what the primary and secondary colors were, and the absence and the presence of all light, which is white and black. And he's like, are there only 3 primaries? Yep, there's only 3 primaries. I actually have a tattoo that shows that. So, I have a triquetra on me. It's, if anybody's ever seen Charmed, it's the symbol that's on the Book of Shadows, which I really like the unity of that charm, which is why I have it in a tattoo. And every time I need to know what the primary colors are, all you have to do is look at it. So that's how I tell my colors, is by a tattoo. Isn't that funny? And ironically, that's the only color tattoo I have on me. And I have 3, but they're only visible in the summertime when I'm wearing sandals and a tank top. So I made sure like nobody at work ever sees them. but they're not in bad spots either, so at least that's a good thing. But anyway, back to plans. I have to put up my next post for Mini DP Madness. While I was in the hospital waiting, I did like 2.5 of the minis. So I'm gonna post that up. I didn't get to record. It was so busy at that time in the morning in the hospital. I was actually amazed they had that many procedures. I didn't think they had that many procedure rooms. Excuse me. Open, but you learn. You learn something new every day, right? And I saw a lot of people that I used to work with there. I don't think they knew who I was, but I knew who they were, so. That makes me remember when I was in school, because I used to be in school for nursing. And then my divorce happened, which I'm not going to get into, as that was not a pretty experience to go through. It was actually horrible. But it's over and done now, so no harm, no foul, right? If you're wondering about that crinkling, I'm getting my wax. I'm using Pure Bliss Wax Company Unicorn Hot Cocoa. It does not smell like hot chocolate in any way, shape, or form, but it does smell good. Oh, what symbol am I doing? Okay. I need a refresher sometimes on the symbol that I'm working on. For some reason, I forget a lot. I have memory problems. I have breathing problems, as you can hear. My throat's tight right now. It doesn't get loose until later on in the day. Which you'd think would help with talking. It doesn't. And I barely talk at work. Not unless I have to. It's so loud in that facility. I work in a very, very loud environment. And I had a questionnaire about hearing loss, and I'm like, I wouldn't know. I work in such a loud place. Sometimes you have to, say something to me 2 or 3 times for me to be able to hear you. But that could also just be the environment and not a problem with my hearing. Which I fully expect that I might have lost a little bit of hearing, but that's only a suspicion. It's not a fact. I haven't had any hearing tests to confirm or deny the allegation of that. And like Mystery of Diamonds, I'm like really into the true crime, so you might hear some jargon from that coming from me. I mean, like if it's the FBI files, the first 48, forensic files, even the police shows that are based on fiction, like Law and Order and Homicide: Life on the Streets, NYPD Blue, New York Undercover. I love all those shows. And I don't know how accurate they are to actual police procedure, but the forensics in those shows, I love it. I love watching the forensics, especially with like CSI, which is based on forensics and crime scene investigation itself. I don't know. I don't know why I got drawn to that, but I swear if I had half a brain, I'd be dangerous. I'd be in school for that rather than doing the 1 year of nursing that I did. And I would have loved doing something like that, but I don't know if my stomach could take it. I'm a little bit queasy when it comes to certain things. So it's like it's a big difference seeing a dead body and all that blood spatter on TV. It's fake. I mean, even if it's like crime scene photos, like real crime scene photos, like I don't know, Forensic Files doesn't really show too many of those, but they show some, and it's not that bad. But seeing it in person might be absolutely horrible. Dexter, that's another one I used to watch. I like Dexter. That's kind of a unique perspective on crime scenes. And I know it's all fiction, but it could happen, I guess. Somebody had to get the idea from somewhere. And while we're speaking of ideas, see, this is how my chaos brain works. One thought to another, one thought to another, just rapid fire. If you're ever thinking about it, think about how everybody's reusing the same idea and just rebranding it. Like, can't you think of something original, something that hasn't been done yet? I mean, even Disney's doing it. I think Disney ran out of ideas because now they're doing live action of everything. And there's things that they've made live action that really didn't need to be made live action. Like, I don't know if anybody's ever heard or seen it, but there's a there's a live action movie that came out in 1980. It's the very first live action movie that I've heard of ever. I haven't heard of any prior to that. It stars Robin Williams, Shelley Duvall. It's a live action Popeye. Now, I saw that when I was a kid, and I loved it. And I didn't, back then I didn't know who actors and actresses were, but two of the greats are in there. And, of course, they're both gone now, but that was really, for the first live action movie being filmed, it was really good. I liked it. And I also liked, on the Walt Disney side, I did like the live action Beauty and the Beast. I liked the live action Aladdin. I haven't seen the live action Mulan, but I refuse to watch the live action Lion King because it's not actually live action. You have a couple scenes of actual lions being filmed, but the rest is computer generated, so I call that a lie. And I won't watch the live action Little Mermaid because for some reason, I just don't think they could capture what the Little Mermaid was, cartoon-wise. I think that should have been a real flop, honestly. I mean, that's not saying anything against the actors, actresses in it. It's just that, I guess I'm not giving it a chance because I loved that movie up until Lilo and Stitch came out. Lilo and Stitch is my all-time favorite, which, no, I have not seen the live action of that yet either. But with all the changes that they made to it, that's what I'm afraid of with The Little Mermaid. They made so many changes to it that it's not going to be recognizable as the film that I remember. At least Beauty and the Beast relatively was. It added in a few details, but it kept mostly everything true to the Disney movie. But with Lilo and Stitch, they took out Gantu, they made Mr. Bubbles two different characters in the movie. They really changed the relationship between Nani and Lilo. And this is just from the reviews that I've heard. And Stitch was a little demon, so I don't know if they were able to capture all of his bad acts while he was trying to be good. I mean, one thing they have going for him is Elvis. I'm a big Elvis fan, and he died when I was young, so it's kind of strange for me to be saying. I used to sit in the kitchen with my grandmother, and it was one of those things. She'd be playing the radio, and it'd be the oldie station, and I loved the oldie station. Now I listen to the oldie station, it's like, this is music that I grew up with. This is not right. I was right that my music would eventually be on the oldie station. I just didn't expect it to be in my lifetime. I expected to stay like the 50s, 60s, and 70s, and that's it. And now it's like the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, and today. And I'm like, no. Music that I was listening to should not be on the oldie station. I'm not old. I feel old. I act old. I'm very, very boring and set in my ways. So, I mean, I don't know what else to say about that, other than I'm not old. I just feel it. Now, I know I'm getting up there in years. I see so many young people nowadays on TV and stuff complaining about things, and it's like, you know what? You're having everything handed to you. You don't know what it's like to actually work for stuff. Which is true nowadays. We coddled an entire generation of kids that don't want to work for anything. It's like they go and make YouTube channels, TikTok channels, and expect to be viral like the first time that they post anything. It's like, oh yeah, this is what everybody's doing, so this is going to be popular. Well, that's not always how it works. Like, when I started my channel in February, I never expected to have, like 300 views the first video, which I don't. I think my first video only has like 4 views. My second has like 17. So yeah, I like I said, I never expected to have like 100 views or more just starting out. I expect people to find me eventually and maybe start watching if they're interested in the content. But you have that mentality of, oh yeah, this is going to be big, and then there's a big gaming thing on YouTube a couple years ago with one of the people that have worked so hard to become a professional YouTuber, and then finally made it to be able to be a professional YouTuber with his content, and all of a sudden he just disappeared because he did something, or he didn't do something. I'm not going to get into what happened, but he didn't take care of a problem, and that problem grew, and now, as far as I know, he's off the internet entirely. Like, I haven't seen anything posted or suggested by this YouTuber at all. And I keep saying him, and him is general. Him may not, with me, be a him. It may be a she or a they. So just keep that in mind if you go searching for whoever this person is. If you know, good for you. Congratulations. You're up to date. Well, at least till a couple years ago. And I just don't want to put their name out there because I don't want people searching for what happened to harass the poor person. So, like I said, I refer to everybody in general as a he instead of a she or a they. It's not that I don't respect I don't respect your pronouns. I don't know what pronouns you would go by, so I just do a general. And in my generation, he is a general for everything until you know for sure now what pronoun people go by. But anyway, wow, I'm actually getting some done on this. I'm missing a lot. Like, I missed a lot of the symbol here when I was doing it. I missed a couple of another symbol. But yeah, your thoughts, comments, anything. Just, I welcome criticism too in the comments. So please, if you see my video and you want to tell me, hey, you could be doing this better, you could be doing that better, or this is where to go to maybe perhaps get help with what you're looking for help with. Because I'm finding a lot of information on, doing my thumbnail and my intro, but I'm not finding a way to do it. Like, I can find the sites to be able to do it, but I can't, like, actually download, import it, and do it. I think it might be waiting for a video to be imported with, but I'm not sure. I don't know. I really don't know. I'd like to create it first and then put it into everything. Because I'd like to do an intro rather than just jumping into things. I'd like to do a thumbnail so you can see what I'm doing rather than a thought process on, hey, this is what YouTube decided it's going to do. This is the algorithm. And I know I'm all over the place. I'm chaos brain. I can't stay on one subject for too long. I don't know. I want to talk. I want to talk extensively about things, but without somebody talking back, it's all one-sided. It's not really... I'm not getting an opinion, so, you know, I'm only giving an opinion. And keep that in mind. I'm only giving an opinion. I'm not stating facts or relevance necessarily. But, like I said, it's just an opinion. I don't take anything I say personally. I mean, I'm not going to take anything that anybody else has to say personally if it's a criticism. If it's a criticism... Thank you, Lucy. You're making a mess. Get out of that plant, would you? No, whatever. Anyway... That all being said, I've been yapping your ear off for about 30 minutes now. I'm still drinking my coffee. I'm still working on this. Usually I work on it until about 2:30 or so. That way I can get ready for work. But, oh no, I need a light pad for out here. My lighting, as you can see, really, really stinks. It gets better during the day when I have sun streaming through the window. I have a window behind me. I have sun that streams through and it looks so much better. But you still have problems. And my Snuggie keeps getting in the way. And yes, I do wear a Snuggie. It is a backwards robe. I am well aware. I've been made fun of for wearing Snuggies. It's warm. My heat just kicked on, so you can probably hear that through the camera, through the phone. But, I mean, hey, I'm just starting out. I don't have good equipment. I don't have noise canceling anything, so I'm just gonna have to deal with it until I can get good equipment. I know I saw another one. Maybe I didn't. Maybe it's just me. Okay. I didn't really have to pour that out. I could use the container. As you can see, I'm using kind of the knockoff Elizabeth Ward. This is Diamond Art Club containers. I really want to get one that has the trays, the built-in trays, eventually. Or the Elizabeth Ward that has the smaller ones. The smaller containers. And I need a better storage system for my spare drills because my square storage is almost filled up, and I was planning on putting my round with it, but that's not gonna happen because, like I said, filling up. And whenever I get more than, like, I think it's more than 3 bags of any color, I end up with a full bag of that color that I never even touch. And I do have a way to use some of my spare drills, which Raya Page actually did a video on one of those. It's from Forever Young. They're these like little minis from Forever Young that you choose the colors you want. It's just patterns. And you choose the colors that you want. You do, you know, you be creative with your spare drills. Because everybody's like, I see a lot on internet about, oh, what do you do with your spare drills? I have 3 jars filled with square drills. No, 2 jars with square, 1 with rounds. I have a storage system that has spare drills for me, and I have a diamond art painting that I am finding more drills to fill it in with, because when I stored it, I went through this on one of my first videos. It was tragic when I stored it. It really was. I lost so many drills off of it, and I didn't separate my drills at the time. They all went into a jar, which I'm not happy about now, obviously, but you know, you learn from your mistakes, right? And I learned you never seal a painting before you roll it, because I think that was my problem. I think I sealed it before I rolled it, and even after I did roll it, I rolled it around a pool noodle. And when I rolled it, it got crushed. I rolled it with the gems facing on the inside, which I found out later is wrong. When you roll it, you want to roll with the diamonds outside, which I thought would be a lot worse for wear for that, but apparently not. But then again, I don't know if that's for long-term storage or just storage while you're doing it. So maybe I did store it right, and it just, where I had it, it just got crushed completely. So that's the story with that. And I'm still finding diamonds to it. Actually, my It Worked yesterday has 4 or 5 colors. I went through my list of what I needed. It has like 4 or 5 colors for that, which brings down my total to like 8 more than I need, I think. Because I have 2 paintings that are missing gems. One of them's only missing a couple of them. The other one's missing, I said, a lot. But I'm trying to fill in so many books, so little time, which is just like this tan color. I probably could use a different color for it, but I am so much a perfectionist, and I need that exact color. I can't go and do something and do it with a different color, one that's close or whatever. Even if it's from a different dye lot, I'm okay with that, because the color isn't that off and it's not that noticeable from a distance. But so far my dye lots have been pretty much consistent across multiple paintings, so there's that to think about. And right now I'm working on a round and a square at the same time, which are using a lot of the same symbols, so it's like, it's weird. I go back and forth between it. I'm like, okay, well, wait a minute, this one should be, no, nope, it's not that one, it's this one, it's this symbol is this color in this painting, and this symbol is this color in this painting. Anybody else get confused like that when they have multiple WIPs going at a time? I thought it'd be clever and have 3 WIPs going at a time with 3 different storage containers, but I get confused with one, and now I have 2 of them open at all times. But it's such a satisfying feeling when you finish. I don't know if anybody else does this. This is what I do when I finish. I put the painting up, I look at it where I hang it, and I have a skirt hanger that I hang paintings up on until I'm ready to put them away.